In yesterday's video, we were overall going over the fact that we were at that weekly expected move. And that weekly expected move meant that as the Qs needed to get to theirs, we could see one more little move outside of it so the Qs could test theirs. And we ended up doing that. But the key thing in this area that we were paying attention to and reminding people on YouTube last night was 68% of the time you will pull back from these areas, especially when you have squeezed dramatically into them. You will see some sort of pullback. But the fact that we have gotten to this very early on in the week means we want to be paying attention to any kind of pullback that is able to turn up into positive territory. Before today, it's going to be very important to prepare for the worst case scenario. So I think we're going to do that first. Now, on the SPY, we have daily expected moves, but I wanted to zoom out for a second to say that there is a worst case scenario, right? And the worst case scenario would be that we are going to see some disruption like we did at the beginning of last year. We are going to see some sort of disruption this year because we are seeing very, very similar structure over here with the daily signals and things like that. We're getting very, very similar to what led into some extreme selling. The only thing is, we talked about the difference of this over the weekend. Please go check out those videos over last weekend because we were talking about exactly why people weren't reading into this correctly and were likely to go make new all-time highs. And we did that. So the weekly chart is going to be very important over here. The weekly chart is very, very important right over here. That doesn't mean I just let all these signals go, right? Would I be bullish if the daily is curled down by the center line right here with a pile up of divergences? Well, no. So that's the risky thing. And this is just preparing for the worst case, but understanding that we are in an extreme bullish trend on the shorter time frames that could lead to a squeeze that resolves all of this. But as these things are holding, as the divergences are holding, we need to really be paying attention and say, I am not going to risk money if the daily is able to get a solid confirmation below the 9-day moving average on the daily chart. In fact, we can be even tighter than that with our 2-hour chart skills in here. And we can say what? The 2-hour chart also has divergence, right? The 2-hour chart has a divergence here, very, very slight, but it is significant on the MACD. That is suggesting to us that the daily chart can cross down here, right? So these are warning signs that we really watch out for, but something that we're paying attention to is the fact that the 30-minute is in such a positive trend and the buyers are so good here. But that doesn't mean that if the 2-hour is crossed down, that I'll magically start to take some kind of bullish trade. No, I will have to pay close attention to that 30-minute and understand that I am trading a time where we are very likely building into a correction. I say building into a correction because towards the end of December, you heard me start to say, well, the way that this is shaped up, the way that the market has proved itself, it is very likely that we go up in January. This is what we need to shake off to go up in January. We need to shake off these 2-hour signals. We need to shake off the daily signal, but you have to be aware of those and say, if the 2-hour is curled down, if the daily chart even is curled down, I want to be very cautious holding on to bullish positions. And me, myself, would say, I'm not going to be holding on to bullish positions if I see a good confirmation of those divergences on the daily and 2-hour chart. I just wanted to clear that up because I think that's a good prep. You need to be prepared for the worst thing, even though it's not the most probable thing at this point. What is the very probable thing at this point as far as what we are seeing over the next couple of days? As of right now, if the 2-hour curls down, yeah, we can see that go negative. We don't want to see that, but the 30-minute chart will give us those hints. So if we are going to see the 2-hour chart be able to curl down here, and this is some kind of trap, which we might want to be paying attention to, right? That dollar is starting to climb up just bit by bit by bit while the market's going higher. Volatility climbing up bit by bit by bit while the market goes higher. These are somewhat, I would say, trap signals in some way, but the structure of the 30-minute chart is what we need to be watching here. So daily expected moves for tomorrow, 692.89. Thank you so much for believing in the calculated weekly expected moves. These will really, 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 really help you out as a trader if you have not ever utilized them before. And to the downside for tomorrow, we have 686.27. Here's the funny part about this drop at the end of the day. Implied volatility did not increase almost at all, even with that drop at the end of the day, and I found that interesting. So if we saw a second standard deviation move, we would take care of this gap down in here, but for now we would say if this wants to dramatically pull back down to that 5-day, right, we're looking for the test of the 5-day, we get above it, we come back down into it to use it as support to head higher. That's what we're overall looking for at this point. The 30-minute structure on your MACD is overall positive. The RSI is doing its thing, getting out of those overbought conditions. But we don't really see a 30-minute divergence here, which means that 2-hour is likely to be a false flag if it is shown as curling down. The other thing we would want to see, so if this is going to all come crashing down, right, we need to get through this little period of time here. It would say this: the bullish case is this is going to pull back by the center line, and then we're going to get down to here. We're going to squeeze. That's a very, very likely case for the bulls. The bearish case here is we are going to see the 30-minute come down to here, squeeze for a moment, fail, and we are going to set a trap, a total 30-minute, 2-hour, and daily trap at the same time. That will be called the golden setup. We actually talk about the golden setup down in the link in the description for the full technical analysis course. That is still 90% off while we still have some seats left. So it's your last chance ever to get it for $100 if you want to grab it right now. So the bullish case is squeeze to the upside. The bearish case is, one, a divergence, or we see a breakdown tomorrow. We actually see this react back up and reject on the 30-minute chart from that 5-day moving average. That would be very, very interesting, because of that would say, yes, the 2-hour curled down, and you would actually see that most likely curl down in here, but you get that reaction that then fails, and then you really know that you're going into negative territory. These would be some great things to watch for in the next couple of trading sessions. So just to clarify in this video, we do have some bearish big signals suggesting there could be a top here, but the 30-minute chart is still holding strong, and we need to see weakness from the actual 30-minute chart in order to say that this thing can turn down to the downside. All right, remember yesterday we were talking about the Qs being able to do what? Being able to burst up, right? Saying there could be one more little surge before we pull back so the Qs can go test their weekly expected move. They overdo it. That's fantastic. But look how bullish that 30-minute is. This is why I like to show off the 30-minute to really make a point here. The 30-minute chart is just pulling back. We can pull back into where? Well, let's look at those daily expected moves. 628.26 to the upside. We have 619.78 to the downside. What will be at that 619.78 tomorrow? Well, a 5-day moving average would be there. So if we're going to leak this out for some time, get down to that 5-day moving average, that would be very, very nice. And this would just get by the center line and curl up into positive territory, which means the Qs, if they are able to curl up on this 30-minute chart, are likely to test the high, go make a new one. We watch out for traps, just like we did on the SPY. If you wanted that 2-hour to rotate down, then you would need to see a lower high down in here, most likely, or you would have to see some sort of divergence that traps people towards the end of the week. So I would be watching for those things. But are they the most probable? The 30-minute is very probable to continue. The 2-hour is very probable to continue. Why? You had somewhat of a downtrend. You failed to make a new low. You took out the previous high. So even price action is suggesting you can come all the way down into these areas right in here, but we can still just figure this out and curl to the upside. So if the 2-hour crosses down, I don't necessarily want to be bullish right then, but I want to do my homework on the 30-minute chart to see if it is going to reject and curl back to the upside, as price action is saying that we've made a new high, and all we have to do is make a higher low here to actually squeeze to potentially that monthly expected move, which you can get those if you want to look at this weekend's video. You can get the monthly expected moves, the upside move for the Qs right now, 645.08. I do want to bring up IWM for a moment, because this is, I believe this to be a great hint. IWM went through more disruption, right? Actually, comparative to the Qs, right? We just showed the Qs did not make the lower low, but they have the lower high. Here, you have a high, lower high, you have a low, and a lower low. This looked really, really bad for IWM, but it was able to just take back that level. So all of this right here has just been resolved by this move. So this means what for IWM? This means you should be looking for 30-minute pullbacks. You should be looking for 2-hour pullbacks as of right now. But I'm just showing off IWM to really suggest, you can see the divergence here. So maybe you are going to get a 2-hour pullback down into those buyers down in there, down to that 5-day moving average, right? You can just see a move like this on the 2-hour to get out of those overbought conditions for a moment down there on the RSI. I'm suggesting this because IWM is looking good. It's taking back the price action just like the Qs did, and it actually went through something worse. So I just wanted to point that out. DIA also doing the same thing, right? Wiping out the 2-hour divergences, wiping out the 2-hour lower high. It wiped out the signals. So I just think that we can see if this is going to also happen in the SPY and the QQQs, because right now, the only thing that is keeping the bearish divergences intact is the fact that you haven't violated those yet. So I wanted to show off how the DIA violated its, how the IWM violated its signals as well. Let's go over into volatility, because this doesn't mean that, we're at the top side weekly expected move. Am I buying a call position once we get to the top side weekly expected move? Well, no. If you were a part of Patreon, you saw that I actually said if the 2 hour curls down here, I'm thinking about making a starter position with the gap up. Now, I didn't end up making that decision. I have a baby on the way, so I'm kind of being very hesitant with taking a play. I don't want to be too distracted, and I'll be definitely managing risk in my position size if I do take a play here. But the key thing that we mentioned yesterday was just if the 2 hour for volatility is curled up and you're at the top side, right? So that for the whole week, the market priced in that we would go to here by this point. We got there by this point, which means we're very likely to reject off and pull back before crossing through again. So do I want to be bullish right when I think there's a high probability of a pullback? Or would I rather let the pullback happen and then maybe get in over here? And that's kind of the point here. This is the point I'm getting at, is not only is the weekly expected move saying watch out for a pullback, but the 2 hour is curled up for volatility. This is a very silly time to take a big call position initially, in my opinion, because this is rotated up. This can curl down right away in the morning. The 2 hour curls down here and everything's dandy. The 30-minute for the SPY curls up there and everything's dandy. But I'm just saying, for me, once we hit that weekly expected move, especially after a little mini squeeze, I'm not excited to start a position. I'm waiting for the pullback. So overall, what I would like to see from the market in the next couple of trading sessions is, do we see the 30-minute get really, really close to the center line right away early on tomorrow and then see it resolve itself? Do we see this break down to lower levels? And do we see that curl up into positive territory? Or do we see this break down even further with some kind of surprise that then is able to roll off of the 5-day, giving the bears an actual case here? What we are looking for is a continuation. That is the most probable thing at this point. But with the big reversal signals, with the big weakness and momentum from the daily and the 2 hour chart, we are going to have to be very, very critical of the 30 minutes. So I hope that this video was able to really help you guys out. I hope that you were able to, get some daily expected moves, kind of see how the 30-minute is still positive, but understand that I don't necessarily want to be bullish if the 2 hour is curled down. And I don't really want to be bullish if the 2 hour is curled up after being elevated for some time here with the VIX. So as of right now, I mean, bullishness is going to be something to be patient for, but we should be looking for an opportunity to the upside unless the bear case starts to actually build up on the 30-minute chart. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. There's links down in the description to learn some of this stuff that we're talking about here. If any of this has confused you, we do have a bunch of learning material in that full technical analysis course. This will be the last $100 sale. We're just leaving it up until those seats fill up, hopefully towards the end of January. So get it while you can, but there's no guarantee that it'll be up there tomorrow. So check it out. Peace out, guys. Have a great rest of your night, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.